Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome to a new video. Finally, today I'm gonna tell you about all of the 20 plus, I think, anime that I watched this season for winter 2024, and I'm gonna tell you which ones are worth watching and which ones aren't, because my opinion is worth more than anyone watching this. That was kind of a joke. Half joke? I don't know, I'm a cocky bastard. Anyway, so let's see. So I have everything sorted from like 1 star to 4 stars, so I think I'll start from the 1 stars. That'll be pretty interesting, and then I'll go to the 4 stars, like 4 out of 5, which are, that's also going to be interesting. Everything in the middle is probably going to be boring. So Pon no Michi, you know, I had some excitement for this because I thought it would be like, you know, a fun slice of life, and it turned like people on certain websites might be interested in talking about it or whatever. But the writing, the script was very poor. The animation was, you know, mediocre, and you know, the script was especially just all over the place. Like, this could have succeeded. The girls are cute, whatever, but it was literally just like they play some mahjong, they make a random reference to like a kaiji, or I mean to like not kaiji but like a kagi, or like, you know, a mahjong manga or something, and then yeah, that's basically it. Just rinse and repeat. The characters were like, whatever, didn't really stand out to me. It was one of those things where it was like, I feel like I could have written it better, honestly. So next one, Momochi-san Chi no Ayakashi Oji. This was like a very standard shoujo. I don't know how so many shoujo or josei are being like animated this season, but basically it's like a girl, and you know, her parents left in their will that, you know, you have to go to this house, but at this house there's a bunch of hot yokai basically, and literally it's just like, yeah, that's literally it. And they're like, get out of the house. She's like, no, I'm staying here. And then, you know, hijinks happen. I gave it a 1. The presentation was really lacking. Metallic Rouge, now this is Bones, animated very well, obviously. But the style, they tried to make it way too stylistic with like the music, the direction, whatever. But really, the story was so trash. It's like, you know, there's like a villain like, haha, I'm so evil, I'm the Joker, I have a Joker card. And then he like makes 2 people fight each other, and then there's someone who's like, okay, let me analyze the battle. But really it's just like punch, 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 punch. And then they like dump all this like info here and there, and they try to be all subtle about it, like, oh, by the way, the other day the Infernal Legions thing happened too, blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, they just dump words, and it's like, it means nothing. I don't know, this is so trash. I feel like I could have done it better. Mato Seihei no Slave, I mean, I would have given the manga like a 2 out of 5. It has good fan service, so maybe a 3 possible, probably a 2. But the anime had some great like stills, but also it was like, also felt kind of buttered in some places, especially like the fighting, the 3D scenes, whatever. It's one of those anime that makes you think that the manga is worse than it really is, like Black Clover. So I give that a 1. I gave it a 1 star for that. Kyujitsu no Warumono-san, this is like a very unambitious adaptation. I didn't like the anime already because it's like, this is kind of like the Princess Torture manga, except it's like with a guy kind of. Or yeah, but it's like, haha, I'm evil, I shall kill the world. Oh, but today I looked at pandas and it was nice. It's like, oh wow, like, haha, it's such a, I mean, I don't want to say this, but it's like a female human moment, you know. I mean, that's like a very, I mean, I find a lot of like, I mean, look, I think people of any race or gender or anything are generally unfunny, probably including me. I mean, definitely including me. But like, this has characteristics of that one particular gender's kind of humor that just makes me go like I don't see where I'm supposed to laugh. You know, I take that back. Like, let's ignore the gender thing. I just think like by default it's just not really funny. And it's not that relaxing either. And the characters are kind of shit. The main character is just like, oh, I'm evil. Oh wait, this is cute. That's literally it. I said the female thing because it's like, you know, it's obviously like written for that demographic. Anyway, next one is this. I was kind of looking forward to this because like the manga was kind of trash. I was like, maybe the anime can make it better. It really didn't. The adaptation quality is relatively high, but the main character, I usually hate it when people complain about main characters because they're like, because they suck at self-inserting, and some people are like, oh, you're not supposed to self-insert in fiction, bro. That's literally why fiction exists. But it's not like you're supposed to self-insert only in a self-insert character. You can self-insert into anyone, and that's one of the great things about fiction. Except in this, like, the main character, it's not about self-inserting, he just sucks. Like, it's just so, it's like way worse than, it's like Kazuya. People meme about Kazuya in like Rent a Girlfriend, but I think like they haven't really seen the real bad protagonist. And this main character, it's like she just acts like a slut, but it's like, why though? I don't understand. It's just like, is it because she's a gyaru? Is that all? Like, the character writing is so weird. Anyway, I give it a 1. So I give this a 2. Soshi Chito, I think I said, so this was a one of the earlier ones I watched like a week ago. I think it was like, I liked how blasé it was with everything. Like, oh no, my classmates died. Oh well, I used my cheat attack, and it was kind of funny. But I mean, it was kind of funny. But then it's like, then it does some things actually seriously. Like, oh, my skill is like the fire skill. Oh, I have like the flying skill. It's like, okay, I don't give a fuck. I think that's what I remember. Let me just check my diary and see if I can find anything about it. Sokushi. Okay, it said. I wrote, I can't believe I just sat through that whole thing at 1x speed. My standards have dropped from not watching anime for so long. Okay, so next is Shaman King Flowers. Actually, maybe I should go through like what I wrote in my diary for everything. Maybe that would be a good idea. 1 second. But I think I basically covered everything I need to for like these. Let me check, like maybe Metallic Rouge warrants a little bit more discussion. Bones anime, let me see. Bones. Okay, so I said it's inconsequential, introduce a bunch of random people I don't care about. So it's trying the whole blase movie thing and failing. Anime should be anime. I've seen better first episodes from post 2018 Shonen Jump anime. I don't know how they pick their writers. This feels like the writer's pitch that impressed the dumb executive the most type of story. The songs, the shots, the dialogue, they tried so hard to be stylish. Fucking cringe. Alright, that's what I wrote. Maybe I could see what I wrote for Dosanko as well. I said, holy shit, that was the worst piece of shit I've ever seen. Average animation, good coloring on the eyes, but holy fuck, it reminded me of how the shit the manga was. Okay, that's cool. You know, maybe I should read my diary entry for all of these. Momochi. Alright, let's see. Momochi, it says, I saw Ayakashi and hoped for something kind of like Natsume Yujincho for some reason, but it's just the most basic shoujo. The direction probably doesn't help, but I'm out. It's just a girl saying, let me move into this house and forget my entire life. It's worse than isekai. Okay, Ponnomichi. Let's see, I wrote, I thought this would be the chill 4-channer show of the season, but oh my god, not only is the script and direction so bad, but the references are so fucking cringe. It reads like a crappy Western webcomic. It reads like, oh, it said, the script is schizophrenic, the direction is middling, and the references were cringe. I really tried to like it, but unfortunately, okay, next, let's see, Matoseihe. Where is that? Oh, I guess I just didn't write it. Matoseihe. I'm pretty sure I wrote it somewhere. Give me a second. Matoseihe no slave. Huh. Is it just not here? Okay, whatever. I guess I didn't feel like writing about it. Did I write something about Kyujitsu? It said, I watched at 3.5x speed and it was still horrible. Bad pacing. It was a nothing anime. Okay, and let's see. Dosanko, I already read that, didn't I? I think I just read that to you. Yeah, I said it was the worst piece of shit. Okay, Sokushi Cheat, I think I read that too. Now let's go to Shaman King Flowers. Okay, so I rated this a 2, and yeah, it says, oh, I think there was no sub, so I watched it in like Japanese at 1.3x speed. I wasn't sure if I wanted to give it like a 2 or a 3, but I'll go with 2. I mean, I rated Jujutsu Kaisen a 2, so like a 2 isn't really like, yeah, I mean, it's like bad, but not terrible. I mean, it had a pretty interesting start, to be honest, but my rating is kind of like, this might be unfair, but I'm also keeping in like mind how I expect the future of a show to go. So even if you have like a great first episode, but then it just ends up being like a crappy monster of the week that ends up being really bad, then I might like lower the rating a little bit. That's just what I'm thinking of. Because like in this case, I've also read Flowers like a little bit. I think 5 to 10 chapters maybe. Okay, SAIJAKU Tank. Oh, this was actually pretty fun. I had to rate it a 2 for some reason. Let me see. Tank. So I said, it's whatever, I don't really care about it. Maybe it's because I'm in a decent mood, but I managed to finish it. Let me see, it said, oh, that's literally all I wrote. Okay, so this one, I remember liking the manga, but, so there was a manga I liked where there was like a girl who I think was like an angel, and it was like, she was like the council president, and the entire manga just takes place within like the student council room of just this guy talking to a girl. Kind of like Monogatari, because it's like, just literally people talking. But this one I remembered incorrectly. It was something else. It was actually a manga that I ended up like dropping. Let me see what I wrote in my diary. I said, what the fuck is this? I said, oh, they have Goku and Luffy acting as the cat and dog in this. I mean, the voice actors. Anyway, I said, so the pace, what did I say? Yeah, I didn't really say much. Basically, this anime is just like, you know, there's like, it's really like, there's hijinks. The gags are pretty like crazy, but it's basically like this guy who's a like devil, and he's like enslaved by an angel, and it's like, but the author doesn't really do it too well, I think, so I gave it a 2. Gekai Elise, so I thought this would be maybe interesting, but, or Gekai Elise actually. So yeah, this one, let me see what I wrote. I mean, I could just talk off the top of my head, but let me see. So another female isekai, yeah, I watched this one after the other two, like, villainous ones. So I said the character writing was kind of lame, not enough resonance. The girl's motivation is like, I was burned at a stake, so I must become a doctor and save people. So that didn't really make sense. Obviously, maybe in the light novel it was much better, but in the anime, which is what I'm judging, it was kind of trash. I was gonna give it like a 1 out of 5 or 2 out of 5, but I heard Yui Ishikawa's voice, and then I was like, okay, I'll give it a 2 out of 5. Okay, so Yubisaki to Rennen, I gave it. This is one of the first 3 rated 3-star series. We're finally at the 3s. So Yubisaki to Rennen, can you actually see? Let me double check if you can see what I'm doing here. Yubisaki to Rennen. Okay, good. So yeah, okay. So Yubisaki to Rennen, I gave this a 3. Let me see what I wrote down in my diary. I kind of want to do this one justice. So, okay, I said it was decent, very shoujo-y or josei. If you reverse the genders, you're allowed to, in this case, is what I wrote. It'd just be 2 horny guys amping each other up to nampa some girls. So it's not much of an anime story-wise. Oh, I see. I'll explain that later. And the characters are not bad. I felt doki doki moments. Overall, it was a 3 out of 5. Pretty good for being kind of generic, except for obviously the theme, which is like a deaf girl, but that doesn't really make it not generic. It's just kind of like a added icing kind of thing. Anyway, so yeah, this anime's first episode is literally like a girl telling her like friend, oh man, this guy's so hot, and the other girl's like, oh, let's go talk to them, oh, only if you come with me, blah blah blah. And then they talk to them and switch like mail addresses, and then the girl goes like, oh my god, my heart is beating. But the whole thing with the like hearing aid, I mean like hearing issues, was kind of interesting, because they had to like hold hands or whatever. Like he had an excuse to protect her from cars and whatever, so I guess that adds like a tiny bit. My point with the gender switch thing is like, it's not like they're equal, so it's not like you can just switch them like willy-nilly, but my point is like, if you had an anime, I just want you to see like that the story is kind of nothing. Because it's like, imagine you have 2 bros and they're like, hey yo, that girl's hot, hey yo, let me try to get her number, and then you spend 20 minutes and at the end of the episode they finally get the number. It's like, okay, what the fuck am I watching this for? It's like Grand Blue but unfunny basically. Anyway, and that's what the guy version would be. The girl version, I mean, it's a pretty good adaptation. I have not read the manga, so I can't really say that, but I just can say that there were some scenes that, you know, really make you feel something, so that was good. I rated this a 3 because, well, I've only been watching like a few episodes per season, so, but basically I rated it a 3 because, you know, the writing seems to carry, the animation seems like on par with season 2, which is not as good as season 1, and it's like the same thing. If you like it, you're gonna like it. I don't think the quality overall is too good. Sengoku Yoko, let me see what I wrote here. So, I mean, people tend to, I just wrote pretty good, but I mean, people have hyped this up on well, people whose opinion I trust have relatively hyped this up. I read like 20 chapters of the manga before, and I remember it being good, not great, but it ends up getting better later on, is what I've heard. And from the first episode, it's like finally this Mizukami guy is getting an anime adaptation that is pretty good compared to his last one, I mean, at least. So that is good to see. And they directed it pretty well. The animation was good. The direction was almost great even. It was very nice, and the ending, or the ending of the part A, I mean, you know, the first half of the episode, it was like, it really built it up to make it seem like it's going to be a grand adventure, so that made me like it. I had to rate this one a 3 solo leveling, even though I read the first 3 chapters like 5 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, and then I dropped it because it's literally just like, at some point it's like he was weak in the end, like sympathetic or empathetic in like the first episode, and then he just ends up getting super strong, I remember, or whatever, and then it's just like grinding levels like some like Korean game or some shit. So basically, with the animation, the adaptation was all really good. They made the characters, even though their lines are unchanged, I'm pretty sure they made the characters feel more human, so that was pretty strong of them, so good job there. Mashley, oh, and by the way, I dropped every single anime. What I'm gonna do is like, I'm gonna pick up an anime if I remember it, like in a few weeks, and I actually go like, damn, I wanna keep watching it. But otherwise, I'm dropping them all by default. Okay, so let me see what I said about or let me see, solo leveling. I said it was a good adaptation of OK material. Okay, next, Mashley. Okay, so I said, oh yeah, the OP is so fucking good. Also, that one actor, Kusunoki Tomori, who also did like Makima, and she's like an idol. She was an idol that retired, I think. Dude, she cannot fucking act at all. She's even supposed to be like a meme loli character in Mashuru. And then But then she just goes with her normal voice, oh, it's so cold. Like, that's not how you're supposed to talk. This bitch literally cannot, like, how many cocks did she suck to, like, get these roles? She absolutely, I mean, probably because she has a huge fan base, so, like, adding her just boosts the show, but she literally cannot act at all. Holy shit. Some people said, like, she was good in Hikikomori, I think, or something. Like, I don't know, I haven't checked that out. But anyway, the opening was so damn good from Ashley. I think this season is going to be pretty interesting. But it's like, you know, the anime, at least first season, missed a lot of like beats that the manga got, so that's kind of unfortunate. I mean, like, it didn't really adapt the humor too well. Some of the battle scenes were like, they had the sakuga, but it just wasn't directed too impactfully, I guess. Anyway, I gave it a 3. It's gonna be fun, so that makes it better than 2-star shonen. Majo to Yaju, so The Witch and the Beast, I just watched this just now. Let me see if I wrote anything down about it. Oh, I just said pretty good, almost a 4. Basically, it's like a story about, like, you know, this like cursed thing, and then it's spoilers, I guess, but some things like, so I'm not gonna spoil you. I mean, I'm just gonna be like spoiler free. So there's like this cursed person, and then this like person who's with them, and they're trying to like find witches, and witches are basically like evil, and then, you know, but like, that's basically it. And then they kind of like fight, and then there's like, oh, what is this witch doing to this town? Are they a good person? Are they bad? But it's like, you know, the setting, I mean, the characters are like all good, so I gave it a 3. My 3 is good, by the way. That's like a 5 to 6. That means, like, to me, average or good, essentially. So it's like whatever. Anyway, Maho Shoujo ni Akukarite, basically this one, I don't know if I wrote this down in my diary. Maho Shoujo ni Akukarite. I said decent 3 out of 5. Yeah, that's why I wrote it. And I didn't write anything else. Okay, anyway, this anime was just like the main character is like a perverted girl, and she's like, I want to like strip and then like punish these magical girls, so she becomes like a villainess. I mean, the characters are like, if we're going from a writing standpoint, like probably pretty shit. The fan service and adaptation are pretty good, and I mean the characters from like a marketing perspective, I guess, or like a archetype implementation perspective are like, you know, pretty good. It's like they have all these different types, you know, as you can tell by the hair colors kind of, or faces, and then it's like, yeah, this girl's cute, this girl's whatever. It's like kind of nice. Dungeon Meshi, so the source material is pretty good. I think I dropped it like relatively early on though. I'm not sure if I was planning on picking it up again, but I don't read too much manga these days or watch anime much these days, except for like, you know, at the start of a core, I guess. So I mean, the adaptation was strong. It's by Trigger, of course, so of course it's going to be strong. Some people said that it kind of didn't really do a great job of taking on the manga style, and it also, like, just direction or pacing wise seems like a little flatter or softer than like the manga, but otherwise it's a strong adaptation of strong material. So that means I should probably have given it a 4 at least, but somehow just my enjoyment was like at a 3. I think it had to do with like the pacing, or maybe like just something about the direction. But yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good introduction. It just didn't really grab me that fast. Okay, let's see. So Ao no Exorcist. So I read like maybe 40 chapters of this before. I also watched like the first few episodes of like each season, I think, just out of curiosity. So the adaptation quality, I think, has gone up since the last season, which was like a 12, 13 episode kind of one core season, I mean. So that is good. They're probably trying to ride the Jujutsu Kaisen like Exorcist hype. But anyway, like, so the first episode was kind of a nothing episode. There's like a random mob character, and they're like, oh, we should try to save him. And to do that, you know, the mysterious but attractive like sensei kind of role character, not really I forget, but like, you know, the demon guy with the top hat, the Joker type of guy, he's like, okay, you guys have to like beat this painting, the spirit in the painting. So that's probably why this didn't get like much bigger than it did before, because it's like, it has these things where it's like, oh, I don't know if it was a filler episode or manga canon, but it's just like, oh, you have to beat the spirit of the painting, and this is like 3 seasons in. So, or like probably like 50, 60, 70 chapters in, you're still beating like a spirit of a painting. Like, who gives a crap? But overall, the adaptation quality was strong, and the characters are pretty enjoyable. Like, better than, like, I didn't really remember liking the characters that much in the manga, but they're definitely better than some like modern popular stuff like Jujutsu Kaisen or Boku no Hero, that's for sure. Alright, anyway, the last 3 stars. So Akuyaku Reijo level 99. Okay, so 99. So basically this was like the second Akuyaku Reijo anime I've ever seen, not just this season but ever. So that might like have skewed my ratings for this and the other one that I'm about to talk about like higher than it was supposed to be. But basically, you know, this is a story of like, I don't want to like spoil the twist, and there's like a little bit of a twist in episode 1. There's another anime which had a much bigger twist, by the way, but anyway, so like this, I mean from this season, but anyway, this anime is basically like, you know, there's like these like main popular people, and I'm the person that everyone hates, but like I actually have like, I'm actually level 99, and people are like, what the heck? That's crazy. That's basically it. It's like your typical isekai, but it's with a girl, and that made it somewhat interesting for me. So if this was like the 10th like Akyaku Reijo anime I watched or manga I'd read, or like 20th, I probably wouldn't have been so impressed. But I give it a 3 just because it was interesting to me. And you know, the animation quality was kind of okay, I guess. The story was okay, but I like how they were pretty self-aware. That's not always a good thing, but in this case it was like, at least it was good that things were pointed out. So this one I didn't expect to rate it like a 3 because it's basically like a BL. So it's basically like, and the story is just this one guy. He's like the thing. I mean, it's like a Twitter manga, so obviously the concept would have to be like, bam, it has to like get these like coon brains like within 5 seconds. So that's why the concept is so like catchy or grabby, but also cringy to me at least. It's like this guy, the black haired guy, he became like 30 years old, so now he's a wizard, and now when he touches people he can like see what they feel. So similar to the Yubisaki Torennen where the girl's like deaf. It's basically just like a rom-com or a romance, but with like an extra kind of gimmick. But here, you know, it's like 2 guys, and the guy's like, he touches the guy, and then the guy's like, oh my god, I want to lick him. And the main character's like, what? But I'm not gay. and then basically like 10 minutes later, that he's sleeping over at his house, and then the guy who likes him is like, he does like kind of like a kabedon, but like on the ground, well, while the first character is sleeping. But then it turns out it was just to grab his phone. And then he leaves, and the main character's like, well, he didn't do anything, but baka. He didn't like touch me at all, baka, you know. So but I mean, the adaptation was pretty good. It had some like pretty what's it called, not heartfelt, but I guess exciting moments. But I mean, this isn't really my kind of thing at all. I mean romance I'm kind of fine with, but this was kind of like a more fan servicey one, not like physical or visual fan service, but like emotionally fan service, I guess. Anyway, next, I want to talk about this at the end actually. So maybe I'll go from top to bottom. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Okay, so I will slightly highlight. Let me see. Can I do some? Okay, I'll highlight this row so I don't forget. All right, so Chiyumaho no machigatta tsukaikata. Okay, so this was actually very good. You know, I'll go into my let me see, actually, I forgot to check my diary for these things. Dungeon Meshi, oh yeah, it had Dungeon Meshi had a bump of chicken opening. That was pretty cool. And then let me see what else. No Exorcist, what did I write? I said no opening, lame. I said whatever, that's what I said. And then Akuyaku Reijo, let's see what I wrote. Okay, so it said, oh, well, it got me to download the light novels, so did Sasaki to Pichan, and like I said just earlier, then yeah, Akuyaku Reijo, so did Sasaki Pichan, and also Loop 7 Kaimei. These are the ones that got me to download the light novels. I'm probably going to check out like at least a few chapters. I want to see how the writing style is. Of course, I'm going to read it in English, because I don't want to invest the time to read it in Japanese, but I think that'll be close enough. Well, more, it'll give me more about the writing style than the anime at least. Anyway, so yeah, okay, I basically just said I'm new to this kind of story, so that's good. Now let me see, it's 30 side. All I said about this was, oh, it's a gay anime, or I mean the gay anime. I heard people say there was one this season. So okay, let's go to Chiyumaho. I wanna like read my diary entries for the so I said, holy fuck dude, that was so fucking good. The character writing for the main 3 was good. The humor was so fucking good. The fly away line in English, was that a Gintama reference? Maybe that's why the humor was so good. The OP at the end shocked me, and Waterweed is now on my radar. The animation is pretty good too. The story is pretty interesting. Like one guy said, it's like, it felt like it was kind of old, and I think it is like 7 years old, so it's a bit like less self-referential, it's less like blasé, it's more like honest. And it's like some guy, he's like, I honestly want to write an isekai So in that sense, it's a little, it's so a bit more meme. I mean, it is self-referential actually. It's like very like meta in some places, but it's like less than stuff like I became a vending machine in an isekai. You know what I mean? It's like it's aware that we're an isekai, but then they were like, okay, let's try to like make the story kind of and the characters kind of good, kind of like Mushoku Tensei in a sense, but that's like the grandfather, right? So that's like even more honest, I guess. But anyway, the story is interesting. I was gonna give it like a 5 out of 5, but I'll hesitate for now, 4 out of 5. So why? Because nothing crazy happened in like episode 1. It's just like they went to the other world. Well, the reason is that the characters are all reasonable. It's like no one took things that shouldn't be taken seriously too seriously. Like, but there were some like genuine things. Like, one of the guys who was like the uptight kind of guy. He's like, "Why would you summon us? I didn't ask for this." He actually like comments stuff out. And then, but you know, the main character is like, I'm excited for this. So it's interesting to have like all these different like perspectives presented so like naturally. And yeah, they like mix the humor with seriousness, so it's like you're allowed to like just take everything in like better instead of it being like very tonally like towards one end of the spectrum. Anyway, it's just a very solid story. That's why I think I downloaded the, well, I was gonna download the light novel, but it's not, or web novel maybe, but light novel, but it's not translated into English, I think. So I'm probably gonna read the manga in Japanese. So yeah, this one then, and then Sasaki Pichan, and then Akuyaku Reijo, and then also Loop 7 Kaime, 7 Kaime. I'm probably gonna like, you know, check out the source material, or, you know, manga in this case, the manga adaptation. Anyway, Hime-sama, let me see, Hime-sama. So I said some okay feat, but bro, it was so enjoyable, did a great job. Okay, so I remember the one thing I remember in this, I mean, the voice acting was good, the animation was good, maybe even great for the battle scenes, I don't know, but the most important thing I remember is that the faces, like if you look at the key visual right now, like the face, the Hime's face, Princess's face is already pretty interesting. But they really had some great faces, and maybe it's kind of hard to tell through the subtitles unless you're like maybe watched enough anime to like finally understand or hear the like lilt of the voice. But just the way they deliver the lines was actually pretty damn good, and the pacing of the humor or whatever, it was like the balance between like, so it's kind of like what the heck. So some person I saw was like there weren't as many gags as I thought there would be. I think that's what he said, or maybe he said there were too many. But regardless, I have the same answer. It's like, I don't know, it's just the very like casual what the fuck moments in the anime just like had me laughing nonstop. It was better than the manga, I think. Also, it was like less sexual than the manga, but I think, you know, I hate censorship, but in this case, I think it was probably a good idea. So I'm okay with it in this case. That's kind of hypocritical, like hypocritical, but whatever. Ishura, okay, so this was like one of the first anime I watched this season, and let me read my diary entry. Ishura, what the fuck? 1. Starting 4 minutes in, my mouth was open, gaping open until the end. 2. Passion can actually deliver Sakuga, what the fuck? Because after Higurashi, man, what the hell was that? 3. Kaji Yuki is actually such a good, or Yuki Kaji, I don't know, probably Kaji Yuki, right? Is actually a very good actor. Like with Eren, he's kind of one note sometimes with Eren. So a lot of people are like, oh, he's like a meme actor. But bro, I can't believe it. This character plus him is such a good combo. I did not realize he could act like this or do this kind of character. This is so cool. I respect him more now. I mean, I already respected him. Actually, I actually did. But now for sure I respect him much more. 4, so this is definitely like a light novel, but it's like a light novel that kind of reminds me of Muramasa, the VN, in the sense that like the main character, I mean the writer doesn't give a fuck about, in a good way. Like the character writing, the info dumping, the author just does what he wants, and it's fucking great. Basically it's like, it's kind of like how in Monogatari you can have like a random like 7-minute toothbrush scene, but I'm talking about the light novel. So in that case, it's like, you know, you probably have like 20 pages or 10 pages of just like random digressions. That's kind of what I mean by this. It's like they suddenly, you know, anyway, you should just watch it. It's very interesting. The main character is like, haha, I want to fight, I want to get stronger, but it's done in a way that's kind of like going from Hunter x Hunter, where it's like this innocent kid in like a crazy world, and that's what makes the innocent kid aspect actually kind of interesting. So that's what I like. And you know, the introduction to Ishura was kind of whatever, but like once the shit starts going down, you kind of start to understand, oh, it's gonna be that kind of like crazy, almost like Durarara vibes, in the sense that it's like, it's a totally different story, but in the sense that it's like one crazy thing after another kind of vibe. So Kekkon Yubi wa Monogatari. So this I know I'm doing like Japanglish right now when I say these names. I don't know why, it's just how it comes out. Anyway, so this, I gave it a 4 out of 5, surprisingly, because the adaptation is kind of mediocre, but the source material carries. I mean, the author of the manga, a pretty rare like manga original isekai, you know, and it's like pretty old now, like 10 years. So like, congrats on this guy's dedication. I dropped it like the manga, like when something really big happened, and so I was like, maybe I'll pick it up later, but then I haven't been picking up any manga lately. Anyway, so but this, like, the source material carries. This guy's by Maybe. I mean, the story's by Maybe. I mean, so is the art, which is also the guy who did the one about like the ghost girl, and the school mysteries. I mean, both are very strong stories. This guy's a strong strong storyteller. He's not like a, unfortunately, despite this guy's awesomeness, I don't know if I would call any of these stories like masterpieces or like must reads, but they're definitely like, if you read them, you're gonna get something good out of them. I mean, like, you're gonna get something out of it. So that's pretty good, I think. And so anyway, this story was like, let me see what I wrote about it. Kekkon Yubi wa, oh, what? Did I just not write anything about this? Kekkon Yubi wa, okay. Let me see. So I said it's my Oshi show. I mean, it's like, as you guys probably know from Oshinoko, she is like your supported, like the one you want to support, I guess, whatever. So the ending was literally one picture. It's drawn by the author, so it's even like, just like, you know, panned left and right. So it's even like lower budget than the Hunter x Hunter 1999, that one ending where it's just like Kurapika and like Kurodo. Anyway, the animation was mid but not bad. Okay, the anime is more of a 3 out of 5, I said, but I said I would give it a 4 out of 5. And I mean, oh, the story, I should probably tell you. It's like a guy, he kind of gets isekai. The nice part is like, from the start, he already like has a girl, so the dynamic is kind of interesting. Like, he kind of goes there with the girl, and it's refreshing in the sense that it's like, you know, he kind of like actually goes for her, kind of. So that was kind of nice, and you know, it's just a fun story, and eventually the tension, I don't think we're gonna get there in like one cour, because it's only one cour, sadly, but eventually the story gets pretty good. I mean, the story is kind of like a strong JRPG story in a sense, almost, you know, but the character writing is very fun. So yeah, I give it a 4. This one I debated giving a 5, I think, actually. Let me see. Loop. No, okay, so let me see. Damn, the start of it, episode 1, the start was Kino AF. I didn't even realize it was an Akuyaku Reijo, like villainous anime, until the title dropped at 5 minutes. And I like the title of the show, and it seems like it could be fun. Oh, is that all I wrote? Okay, oh wait, no, I think okay, here we go. So, oh yeah, Nobunaga, I wrote Nobunaga Shimazaki. No, Nobunaga Shimazaki, I really like that guy. He was in World Trigger, Yuno, and Black Clover. He's also the guy in, the main character, the pussy in Dosanko Gyaru. I think he's done a lot of roles I like, actually. But anyway, so he's like, he's in it too, so that makes me happy. I mean, this story, you can tell from the title, it's like she looped 7 times, and in this lifetime she has like more knowledge of what's gonna happen. So she's kind of like a Mary Sue in a sense. I don't really care though, it's whatever. And I think it's interesting because now she's gonna try to go for a slow life with like, well, I mean, it says in the title, like, so it's not a spoiler, I guess, so I can say it. She's gonna go for a slow life romance with the villain who like killed her the last time. So I think that's a pretty interesting concept. The character writing was pretty nice, you know, and pretty fun. And it's nice seeing her be competent, you know, I'll be honest, I like that. I thought I would be way more sexist, but no, I just like it. Okay, so Sasaki to Pichan, this I was gonna give it like a strong 5 out of 5. Even though I only give out like 5 out of 5s to masterpieces that like really touch me, but this was so close to being that enjoyable that I almost just gave it a 5 out of 5. But the second half was kind of mid. I hope it recovers. But let me just read my diary entry. So, let me see. So, okay, what did I write? Okay, so first I wrote fucking Sugita Lamau. golden retriever when he was saying golden retriever. Yo, he was serious for 10 minutes and then he had to insert a sugitam or a gintoki, I guess you could say. Same thing at this moment. He had to insert a joke. Anyway, so 10 minutes in, okay, there's a lot of spoilers for this one actually, so I'm not gonna say them all. But basically, 10 minutes in, I thought it was like one kind of anime, and then it kind of changed tracks very like slowly but like steadily, and then it changed again. And then, like I said earlier, like at the second half of the episode, I was like, this is kind of like just a 3 or 2 out of 5. Um, so it changed again, and I don't really like that. Basically, I mean, there is like you can see from this like image, so I guess it's not too bad of a spoiler. There's kind of like an isekai element. That's all I'll say. Like you can see the top right, it's kind of like a fantasy world. And then so that was kind of nice. But then there's also kind of you see the people in like business suits, or I mean, uh anyway, so there's like another aspect where like his real life gets complicated as well. I would have preferred that it's just like, you know, having fun in the isekai, whatever, and also real life hijinks, because it's like they presented the main character and him being like a corporate, like, you know, wagey. They did it like really well. Like everything they did made him relatable, and all the tiny details of like the like little like trading things he did or whatever, or like employee coworker like stuff. I was like, man, I would love to watch just like a slice of life business story of this guy. But they added this like thing where it's like he has troubles in the real world too that are kind of like fantasy-ish, and I just found that like a detriment. It's like instead of a new fun challenge, it's just kind of like a cock block. That's how it feels. So, but anyway, there's also a bird, and the bird is so damn cute. I took so many screenshots, and I don't know if she did the actual like bird voice, but the like spoken voice of the bird, not the bird song, is by Aoi Yuki. And oh my god, I can't believe she can do this voice. I didn't really know. I always forget these guys like the range of voices they can do. And there's like I was hoping there'd be a radio show, because like, you know, Aoi Yuki and Sugita, they could probably do a pretty fun show. But I was excited when I saw something on YouTube, but it was just like a pre-airing like cast special talk. um and so let me see. Oh yeah, this is one of the rare anime I watched fully in one time speed, and I'm glad that it was like 40 minutes long. And I said yeah, I really like the slow life aspect of it. And then at the end, the head tilt was pretty shocking. And let me see. Oh yeah, also the cast, I looked at it. There's Hiroki Yasumoto, Jun Fukuyama, so the meme squad and Sugita are all here. And there's also Daisuke Namikawa and Ryotaro Okiayu, who I keep getting them mixed up. But like one of them does like the key, those characters in like the key visual novels, you know, like Clanad, whatever. And then like I think Daisuke Namikawa is the one who did Hisoka and a bunch of like other like Oikawa and whatever. Anyway, like these two I get them confused, but I do like both of them, and they both play like big roles in Kimetsu no Yaiba, I think, as well. Anyway, that's whatever. Next is the last one. Wow, we're already at the last anime of the thing I was going to talk about. I can't believe it lasted this goddamn long, but I guess 1 minute per, like 1.5 minutes per like anime is all I've done. So I guess 40 minute, like a 40-minute video isn't too surprising, I guess. Anyway, I forgot to mention at the start that you guys should always like watch at like 1.5 times speed. I mean, my mic isn't too good and my enunciation also isn't too good, so any more than 1.5 times speed, even if you're able to like keep up with it, like from a processing point of view, like it's not going to be understandable. But anyway, even to me. So okay, so this is the last one. I just watched this like 40 minute, well, I started the video 40 minutes ago, so I guess like 1.5 hours ago. um and this was the second last anime of the season I watched. I watched it all in Japanese, so I missed a little bit. Like when they were talking about like the when they were in like the cockpits of their like machines, and they were talking about like, okay, you know, like Bravo 3, you go to aerial position 9 or whatever. Like I kind of missed some of that, but the actual like character dialogue and whatever I didn't really, or like info dumps, I guess, I didn't miss. So this, I almost gave it a 5. I hate that I got spoiled on or I almost said some. Okay, I hate that I almost got spoiled on what happens in this episode. I was like 10 minutes in, I was like, damn, this is good. Why is no one talking about this? Or I mean, they were talking about it, but there were no subs, right? So it's kind of hard to talk about in the English sphere. But I heard it was trending in Japan because of something they did. I was like, I wonder what they did. I looked at, you know, the second poster. This is the first poster. I was like, wait, that's not right. And one guy's like, oh, they did blank, 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 blank. I looked at it, looked at the poster, put two and two together. Oh, So I still wasn't sure exactly how it would play out because they tapped into something like a type of story that I don't really see too much anyway, so I didn't know how it was gonna end up. I just knew that like the tone would kind of like shift a little bit maybe. But anyway, so even before they like try to subvert it a little bit, I guess I'm trying to like tone it down so I don't really spoil you, but I was like, dang, this is cool. It's like, you know, it's kind of like you got the stereotypical Westerner dude, the stereotypical like Japanese dude, and they're just like, oh yeah, we're doing like training like together in these robots. I was like, damn, that's actually pretty cool. I would watch a whole series about this, and then it's like, but then things get pretty epic, you know? Anyway, the character writing was good, the animation was strong, surprisingly. This is SAIGAMES, right? I guess they did Uma Musume as well, so I assume they're like raking it in, so I assume that's why they can get like such a good animation budget, but animation was good, character writing was pretty decent, the designs were nice, there were some like hot girls, that's good. The character, oh, this is like the, isn't it the Legend of Galactic Heroes remake, their designer? I don't really like their designs in the remake, but I think they're a good designer, if that makes sense. I think it makes sense. I know it makes sense. Anyway, so this was a very fun to watch anime, especially near the end. It was so fun to watch. I dropped it. I'm dropping everything here by principle, like on principle. Like I would have dropped even some of my top like current favorite anime. Like if I saw Clannad or Gintama or like Higurashi, I mean obviously Higurashi because the adaptation sucks. But if I saw like any of those drop in this season and I watched episode 1, I would 2000% drop them, bro. 100%. I mean, I would say this first episode clears Higurashi episode 1 of the anime. It clears Gintama episode 1, 2, 3, of course. It clears, I mean, it wasn't directed too well back then or animated well anyway. It clears like Clannad episode 1 probably. Actually, that's kind of tough because Clannad episode 1 looks really beautiful, but anyway, and it's directed like pretty poetically if I remember correctly. But my point is this was an amazing, maybe top tier first episode. Like it tempted me, bro, to give it like a 5. Not as much as the first half of Sasaki to Pii-chan, but like in a different way it tempted me. So this I might end up picking up again. I'm kind of worried that it's just gonna become like a story of the week kind of thing. I hope there's like a long epic, kind of like overarching or overarching, I don't know. Overarching, I think, plot. Let me check how many episodes, 1 second. So interestingly enough, I couldn't find the number of episodes, so I'm hopeful that it's going to be a oh, 1 sec. Okay, we're back. So yeah, I'm hopeful that it's gonna be like you know, 24 episodes at least, maybe even like a fucking whole year, but there's no way they can keep up that quality for a whole year. But like I'm hoping at least 2 cores or like a second season will be announced, because this really feels like I want the writer. I mean, the setting is kind of whatever. It's like I've seen it already, you know, like whatever. Like this is like maybe a spoiler, so like skip 5 seconds if you need to. But there's like a slice of life kind of like visual novel that kind of gets into like this kind of like fighting with mechs kind of thing. Okay, skip now. 5 seconds, skip now. But anyway, Love, like I mean, I've seen like mech battles like done as well as they can be, I think. So I don't really have expectations like that. I mean, the characters are amazing too, that's my point. But anyway, in this, so my expectations are for this, or hopes, are just that the writer gets enough time to do what they want, because the writer definitely seems capable enough to like play around with different like types of stories and characters and like still deliver an effect, and the studio and staff seem to be like on board with it, you know, they just seem to be giving their all to establish that writer's vision. So this, I mean, hell, bro, this compared to Bones, their like mecha whatever anime that they released, Metallic Rouge, this clears it so damn hard, bro. This is so much better, man. It's like, it's unbelievable, man. Also, like, let me see if I can convince you real quick with something. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Almost there. I should have just paused, but I can't pause the recording now. 1 second, 1 second. It's coming, I think. Where is it? Where is it? I'm gonna count down from 10. Hopefully I find it. So how is your day going? Leave a comment below if you actually watched this far in, like how your day is going, like why the fuck you're spending it watching this instead of doing something else. Okay, here we go. Bro, look at the yo, look at the, yo, this is so subtly fetishized, or actually like maybe the armpit part isn't subtle at all, but like this is so subtly fetishized. Holy shit, the character designer, I can't talk anymore because my throat is even just getting like sore, but I need to search who the character designer is, because they are. Is it just me, or does the character on the right kind of look like they could be from a K-On like season? Maybe I'm trolling, but I really thought the guys looked like the Legend of the Galactic Heroes guys in the remake. Anyway, so to summarize, there are 4 series that I decided to check out the source material, or in this case, the manga of Chiyuma. So the wrong way to use healing magic, I looped for 7 times, and I'm a villainess. Sasaki and P-chan, that's the guy in the bird, and then level 99 villainess Akuyaku Reijo. Besides that, everything besides here like is like a hard drop. Like here, this is like just trash. Just don't even watch them. Like don't watch them whatsoever. I should have said that at the beginning of the video. If you want like a summary, you can just like skip to this moment in the video, but whatever. So anyway, actually maybe I'll like write something with text. I wonder if that's possible. Text, and then let me see. Okay, and let me just do summary, and then color. Select color red, I guess. Okay. Cool. I think this is good. Where is this? Let me do properties and change it to like impact, I guess. Select font, impact. Okay. Alright, yeah, that's pretty good. So at least from the thumbnail, you should be able to, I mean like video scanning thumbnails. So, okay, the summary, like I said, this healing magic, Sasaki P-chan, 7th loop, villainous, and level 99 villainous. These are the ones I was convinced to like go beyond the anime adaptation. Other than that, these 1 stars like just don't bother. Hokkaido gal, so the bad person's break, basically. I don't know the English translation. Matose, so the slave, chain soldier, whatever, metallic rouge. Momochi's like Ayakashi's, whatever, and like Ponomichi, the mahjong anime, don't even consider it. Everything from 2 to 3, I mean, they should be pretty fun. You can watch them if you want. Yeah, these ones I recommend for sure. Out of these ones, out of the healing one, the torture princess, Ishura, so many isekais by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 anyway. So yeah, I recommend all of these, but the 2 I really loved are definitely, I mean, Ishura was good, but it's kind of like a style over substance a little bit. Even the writing is a little style over substance. It's like, let me just throw words at you, but like, you know, but it's kind of like the monogatari, like half of the words are trash, or half of the words are kind of just for fun, half are interesting, you know, kind of vibes. But then this Sasaki to P-chan, I have high expectations for, but also kind of low expectations based on where it went in the second half. But this one, boom, this one better be good, man. This one better be good. And then from the rest, I mean, I have expectations for like, I might check an episode of Mashley, like the 1 Sakuga episode that comes out. Maybe I'll check it out. Because I think the end of the season, when the guy at the bottom becomes important in this like poster, that's gonna be fun. This one I might binge at some point, like in a year, because it's like 3 cours, right? Probably not non-stop 3 cours, I assume. Or else I hope there's no like production breakdown. Everything else, yeah, I'm not gonna check any of this. I was like, maybe I'll check this in the future if I'm bored. Anything else? Dungeon Meshi, yeah, I might binge this in the future if I remember to. Other than that, yeah, source material, blah blah blah. And this Ishura, and the light novel seems like it's gonna be a pain to read. It's funny how I said like the writing is good, like the light novel-esque writing, but it's probably gonna be a pain to read. But anyway, so at the end of the day, and this I've read a lot of the manga already, it's like really just a monster of the week, or like torture of the week. So there's, I mean, it's not really worth watching in my opinion, even though it's a good anime. So if anything, yeah, I mean, I think I've gone over what I need to. So now why don't you guys, let me change the text, I guess. Properties, leave a comment. Okay. So now it's your turn. Why don't you leave a comment telling me what your most anticipated anime of the season is, which ones you've watched, which ones you like, which ones you're gonna check out. Let me know. and you know, I might not reply to. Actually, I've been like super busy these days, like actually like just really busy. I don't even like, but the past few days I got like a little bit of like a reprieve, so I spent it just like binging the first episodes of all of these anime. And I guess now it's like, oh, my avatar, how long has my avatar not been moving? Okay, there we go. So um well, with like an avatar like this, I feel like I should change my voice to something like this. All right, guys, anyway, so basically, that's it for the video. Just let me know which anime you really liked. I've been really busy, but basically I checked out a bunch of episodes, like first episodes, and that's why basically I felt like I needed to leave something to you guys, you know, like spread my opinion to the world, because otherwise I'd be like, what the fuck did I just spend like 10 hours of my life on, you know? So essentially that's why I decided I would have to release this video. Otherwise I would be like, what the fuck, I just wasted my life. So but now it's like, oh, I watched all that anime and was able to produce this quality content for my numerous fans on YouTube, so of course now it's worthwhile. Anyway, now you guys can tell I really wasn't joking when I said I like the sound of my voice. Or like, anyway, so that's it. Even though like when I hear myself in the recording, it's fucking cringe as hell. Anyway, leave a comment, boost us in the algorithm. This year we're going for 100 subs. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the season. Hope you guys enjoy 2024. Have a good year. Bye.